Okay. I'm really going to lean into this North Node in Pisces energy and really surrender my Virgo ascendant here to deliver this message for you all. So, right now, we are really settling into this lunar eclipse that is happening within the sign of Pisces and Virgo. So, right now, North Node is in Pisces, South Node is in Virgo. This energetic frequency of the nodes lasts for about a year and a half. They're going to be within Pisces and Virgo, that axis, for the next year and a half. So we're just jumping into what our souls are going to be expanding into for the next year and a half. Now, to look back a little bit, we've been exploring the relationship axis the last year and a half, which has been on the axis of Aries and Libra. And now we're completely shifting into a different frequency. Now, I find that with the North Node being in Pisces, it is still bringing in this underlying theme of love, of divine love, of expansion. And I've had this reoccurring thought on North Node and Pisces, and I'm here to give my 2 cents as an astrologer of my own growth and all the goodness I've gathered and kind of share it out into the world. This shift in the nodes really is giving let go and let God. Now, it doesn't matter where your religious beliefs lie. Pisces kind of transcends all of that. It's the easiest saying that came up for me of like, it really is this deepening and surrender. So, on the other hand, we're learning to release these structures of Virgo. And Virgo, when we're looking at it from the South Node perspective, it really is this rigid, over analytical sort of sign here. Hold cat removal. So, as we're leaning into this energy of the North Node, we're really being asked to look at our perception of linear time. Virgo, hi, Virgo rising here. So, who better to tell you about Virgo than a Virgo rising? Virgo energy is truly the epitome of being a human on this earth. It's mind, body, spirit alignment. Now, I sort of feel into the energetic of detrimental self help, is sort of what we're learning to release. A lot of us in the collective have been undergoing this sort of, I need to find something wrong with me so I can fix it. And so it's like you've been we're learning to let go of this energetic of like trying to solve things, fix things, heal things, heal the wounds, you know. I really, really see Virgo in this energy of wanting to heal things. And Pisces, with our North Node resting here and calling our soul forward, is really asking us to deepen our connection with our faith, with trust in the divine, with trust in ourselves, and to operate from a whole different perspective. And that perspective is from the heart. Virgo is Mercury ruled, it rules over the head, and it's really been this battle of head versus heart. I got the opportunity to really witness this dynamic in a deepened practice of mine a couple weeks ago. And it was very intense because, and I want to share this with you all because I really got to have a glimpse into this energetic, and it really is our mind creates our reality. Your your body cannot tell the difference between you thinking a thought and actually physically going through it. So, if you're constantly in a negative thought loop or cycle, you are creating that depth of energy within your body. Your body doesn't know that you're like the fear of you answering a phone call is no different than being attacked by a lion. you know, those genetics that are coming up that's so deeply ingrained in our DNA, you know. And it really is this letting go of the negative self-talk and really leaning into this whole different operating system that is your heart. And this is the invitation. This next year and a half is an invitation to deepen your connection with your heart, with truly trusting yourself and trusting something bigger than yourself. Now, that journey looks different for all of us. We all have, I like to say, and this is kind of helps me have like a more broadened perspective of the world. And it is, there's how many people in the world, right? Like 7-8 billion people. There's that many ways to perceive reality. So, you know, I'm very into everybody's got their own beliefs. My beliefs are my beliefs. Your beliefs are your beliefs. Whatever has you continue to be a kind person in the world and to operate from a heart-centered place, all for it, right? Whatever that looks like for you. So that's the energy that is coming up here. And so I kind of want to jump in now. So if you just watch the intro, I'm going to give a little spiel for each rising sign I have off to the side. So if you see me looking, I have dual monitors here. I've got pulled up my sort of representation of where the eclipse is falling for all the different signs. So as an astrologer, I'm going to give you guys homework if you haven't done this yet. If you're new to astrology, figure out your rising sign. That is the most important part of your natal chart. You can plug it into astrocafe.com, astro.com, whatever site. You can find the apps, whatever. Find your rising sign. You'll need your time of birth for that, okay? So figure that out. Your rising sign is where you will read any horoscope from. So if you are a Cancer rising, you're going to read it from the Cancer perspective. If you're a Taurus rising, read it from Taurus. Okay. So we're just going to start with them and kind of go through. So let me grab my thing. So, all right. For Aries risings, it's happening in your 6th house. Aries risings, you have the natural wheel. So you kind of have that doubled effect. So everything I kind of said here is being amplified. So with the South Node and this eclipse happening right now in your 6th house, you are really truly looking at where you're overgiving, where you are. It's honestly, if you take what I just said, the last 6 minutes, and double it, it's what's happening is you're really being called to deepen your connection with divine. So reaching towards that 12th house energy, where this full moon is happening in your 6th house. So it's really highlighting your routines, your health, service. So it's really highlighting your daily life and where you can let go of certain routines that are no longer serving you. Really look closer and see if you can operate in that space from a more heart-centered space. Okay. Now, for our Taurus risings, it's happening in your 5th house, which is all about creativity and fun. It's all about inner child work. So this is the opportunity to look at your connection with your inner child, to begin reflecting on where you've restricted your inner child is what it feels like. It feels like there's been a lot of restrictions on your self-expression and where you actually want to feel free and where you want to have fun. And so looking deeper at how can I, almost feels like, oh, and my ears ringing as I'm saying this, it almost feels like you've been too afraid to let yourself play. So that's your invitation right now, is looking at those restrictions there. For my Gemini risings, this is happening in your 4th house. So you're really reviewing your home here, your routines within the home space, really looking closer at where you can surrender in that space. And that might look more like, you know, shifting your point of view, not trying to mentally control things. Again, aligning from stepping away from head, moving into the heart space. Where can you show up in the home area? And that might be like, I'm hearing like setting some boundaries for you guys. Okay. For my Cancer risings, this is happening within your third house. Okay. So the third house has to do with the throat, with communication. And I'm really seeing a unblocking of the throat chakra, of reevaluating how you use your voice, how you ask for what you need, how you communicate your needs, and, ask for this reciprocity in your life. And it's really reviewing that sort of desire to use your voice and maybe recognizing where you're not speaking up. For my Leo risings, this is happening within your second house, which has to do with finances, possessions, money, skills, your values, your body. And I'm really, really feeling here like the way that you've operated in the world, like your tangible world, is changing. Your relationship to your body is changing. You're reevaluating where you are showing up for yourself physically, okay? And like the old routines that used to work are no longer working. So it's this deepening and reevaluation of like, what's next? And it's really coming from here instead of from here, okay? For my Virgo risings, hi, this is in your first house, okay? The house of self, of identity, of your outwards appearance, how you perceive reality, how reality perceives you. And it really is this upheaval of your identity. There's no longer a racing thought process. Like, you're able to look at that, and it's kind of this like, the way I've been channeling astrology and just operating. Hi, Virgo rising, I'm actively in this with you. I just heard like in my head like, oh, with you, you'll, and it's really this like, I don't care how I'm perceived by others anymore. It's like, like feeling the fear of like, oh no, I might be perceived wrong, and actually leaning into like, I trust myself. And that's that North Node in Pisces. So it's really this reevaluation of self, of how you want to interact with the world, how the world interacts with you, and like choosing to operate from a different frequency. Super beautiful. All right. For my Libra risings, hi, this is happening in your 12th house of spirituality, of deepening of the otherworldly. 12th house is a very elusive energy, so even putting words to it can be a little wild. So this is all about transcendence. This can also have to do with self-sabotage, solitude, intuition. So with this happening in your 12th house, there's a lot of contradictory energy that naturally happens with your chart as you have the opposite of the natural chart. And I'm really feeling this like, you're like, as I like tune into the different layers of this transit for you, it really feels like this recognizing that you can't think your way through your beliefs anymore. It really is this surrender of like, you have to let go of like what you've previously believed, and or letting go of old like, it feels like addictions or like things that have kept you like running in the same circle. Like, there is a evolution of beliefs happening here, an evolution of like, I can believe in things differently. All right, so we're going to move on to our Scorpio risings. Scorpio risings, this is happening in your 11th house. Okay, so this is like social realm, society, group, goals, kind of your aspiration, humanitarianism. And so like, you're really looking at your social circle and the people around you, and it feels like this, I'm seeing like static, like it feels like this very like, you can't even turn the frequency off. There's this need to actually like fully, I'm feeling like you're stepping back and reevaluating the people that are around you, that are in your circle. And it's like the next year and a half, you're going to be not even reconnecting, it's like reconnecting with yourself, but also creating friendships from a heart space instead of an intellectual level, which is going to be so beautiful for you, which is kind of how Scorpio risings really want to operate, but you're really leaning into that a bit more. All right, Sagittarius risings. This is happening in your 10th house of career, vocation, status, power, right? So this for me feels like, I almost feel like you're stepping off the pedestal is what it feels like. And like actually looking at the competitors, it feels like competitors around you, and really leaning into this. Is this even the competition I want to be in? Am I actually chasing the goals that I want to chase? And it's realigning to this heart space. Like all of these messages, it's realigning to the heart space, but it's for you is in this realm of career, of who you are in the world. And so like really looking at like how you've shown up in jobs and careers in, you know, your status in the world. Is that where you truly want to be? And this is your opportunity to step down and look closer at that. Okay, Capricorn risings. This is happening in your 9th house. And this is all about higher learning, education, philosophy, spirituality. So you're really leaning into reevaluating your belief systems and like it's like what information you're taking in. I've been recently doing this thing called conscious consumption, and I feel like that would be a great assignment for you of like, what are you taking in? How can you really look at it? How is it actually feeding the life that you want to live? And really recognizing how it's been programming your mind, and really reevaluating like, is this from a heart-centered space? And now you get the opportunity to look at it from a different lens. Okay. Aquarius risings. This is happening in your 8th house, which has to do with the taboo, the dark, the mysterious, letting go, death. It is the darker realm, which I really love. For you, this is really, this is a very potent energy for you. It feels like this actual like ego death that's happening of like, the feeling I felt like a pressure in my chest. It's like you're settling into letting go on a level of like needing to control the material world around you and like letting things fall away. So if that's actually physically getting rid of things, it feels really potent for you to like actually let go. This can be relationships too, of people that you've kept in your circle, that Scorpio has a very possessive energy. So you're reviewing where you're obsessing over things. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now my Pisces risings. This is happening in your 7th house. Okay. This is all about relationships, all the people that are close to you, etc. Also is the house of like partnership, and also of like your enemies too. You're really taking a closer look right now at where you're overgiving. Hi, Pisces risings. Yeah, you little overgiver, you. You're really getting the opportunity to look closer at that energy of where you're in this space of, yeah, over giving. It feels, sorry, I totally got like sucked in. I'm like looking at the chart and just like feeling the energy come through. It really feels as though you are, hold on. For my Pisces risings, this next year and a half is really potent for you because a lot of this like direction is pulling you to the self, to re-evaluating your identity. And with this eclipse, this lunar eclipse is highlighting your 7th house, the moon's in your 7th house. It's really looking at your unconscious reactive habit patterns within relationships. So you're really looking at old patterning for you that no longer serves you and actually is not creating the depth of relationship you truly desire. So you're getting an opportunity to look at that. Okay.